so excited to have the one and only Stella in the building.
Hi.
Hello, Stella. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I know you could have been anywhere else. It's a Friday, but you decided to come and hang out with Kev.
I would have been
I appreciate
at home.
that. Oh, you'd have been at home?
At home.
Nah,
Club
you're kidding.
Gitanda.
For real.
Very much so. I'm a homebody.
Is it like, because anyway, let me tell you, me, ever since COVID, I just felt like most folks, young, okay, I don't know you, because you come off as Gen Z vibes, but my millennial folks.
It's not that I'm offended. I'm just like, thank you, but I'm a millennial.
You are?
Yeah.
Nah, but you have such young vibes, but I like that. Anyway, so I just feel like guys don't go out that much these days.
Yeah, because also millennials, I don't know what we're fighting. I don't know what demons
We're in a battle.
You were just in a battle. People like to just chill at home now. We're still trying to go somewhere. But honestly, after COVID, home is just, it hits different.
It's more chill. Well, there's a lot going on in the millennial life. We'll try and make sense of that later on. So yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So I know many guys are like, Kevin, why does it feel like you're so close to that mama? Connie, what is she about? So, tell folks what you do.
So I am a performing artist, spoken word or poetry, for those of you who do not know what spoken word is. But I also wear many hats. I'm a clinical psychologist. I am an outdoors woman, like a guide and an adventure therapist.
For real?
For real, imagine. But I'm here just to talk about the poetry side of things.
Exactly.
Swahili is fine, by the way.
Well, yeah, it's okay. I mean, this is Kenya, isn't it? Yeah.
Fair enough. Unajua Spice mnakwanga na English ingine. Nimepolish.
We're about this life. But you know what? I've seen your work. You're very good at what you do. First of all, what inspires you to, write poetry, do the whole spoken word thing?
It's such a deep question, but it has such a simple answer. I just write. I think when it comes to inspiration, it just depends on what's needed at that point in time. Because I moved from just writing about heartbreak, he left me, to now slightly deeper topics. Sometimes it's like, oh, we need you to write about mental health, or we need you to write about human rights. And we start moving there. So sometimes it's just based off of what maybe a client would want. But other times it's whatever mood strikes me. I will write about love. I will write about empowerment. I'll write about about Wikipedia.
Are you serious?
So, yes. Yeah. So it's literally what is needed at the moment, what my body is feeling at that moment, or what the audience or the people are feeling at that moment.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so what does it mean to speak as a Kenyan woman? Especially, okay, let me just generalize it as an African woman, because I know there are folks from other parts of the continent that are listening to us, especially in a world that, somehow sets the tone for what you should speak about. They speak, like the world speaks for us these days. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to speak your own mind, right? So what does it mean to speak as a Kenyan woman and as an African woman?
Oftentimes there's a pressure and an expectation of what, as a woman, you're meant to be like on stage. There's even on page, on book, there's this expectation of, you're meant to be polite, you're meant to be smart. And then when I come on stage and I'm cussing someone out on stage, it's like, hey, okay, are you allowed to do? It's like a dramatic thing.
Yeah.
There's a pressure to sort of fit in a box sometimes as a female performer, and the thing is, you can't fit into someone else's box. There are poets they're female poets, I would not be able to touch any of their work because that's just not me.
Right.
There are female poets, I feel like I can sort of maybe try, but we're so different, we're so versatile. It's so hard to fit into this one stereotypical box that oftentimes I do come across much like a man hater or angry or annoyed.
Real? Yeah.
Honestly, for the longest time in my career, when I was starting out, that was the tagline. Hey, Stella doesn't like men. We're only feminist tupu. So it becomes this thing of you've already been given your box, and now you have to sit within that box. So there's that pressure to either be in it, and also the resistance to try and break out of that as well.
Yeah. I like that. And from your work, I get the sense that you can be emotional when you want to. You can be vulnerable. You put it out there for folks to feel.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think people judge you based on that, on these extreme ends, right? People tend to say, okay, she's just soft. She's a bit too much.
No one has ever described me as soft for performing. I wish there was one person who's like, she's so gentle on stage. No. I think most of the time people get taken aback by just the energy level. And I've been told in terms of stage presence, and I have no one other than my literature teachers from high school to thank for that.
Yeah.
They say, I'm very much going to pull you in.
Yeah.
So when it comes to just how I am on stage or how I am as a performer, that voice that comes from wherever it comes from, I never know where it does. I tend to fit whatever is needed at that point in time. If you need me to be emotional and sweet and loving, I can be sweet and loving. Yeah. I can bring my voice to that point of just being, hi, my love.
Yeah.
And then the other times it's like, no, by the way, we need to be angry, and we go in that direction as well.
Yeah. So the world. Let's talk about power, because as an artist, your power is in your expression. But how this world defines power is through dominance. Like this whole rah energy. It's like the loudest ones somehow tend to have their day, right? So as a woman artist, as a creative, as an individual, what's your power?
Ooh, such a nice question. I think my power is my voice at this point in time. Just speaking from the artist's perspective, my power is my voice in the sense of I know you will listen to me.
Yeah.
And how I will speak and how I will make my poems or write my poems or even put words together, put a show together, whatever it is, you're going to listen. And I don't want to sound cocky or just like I'm that person, but it's a reality of I have been on stage and people are talking and I start to talk and they keep quiet.
Oh, powerful.
And that to me is just like, yeah, you're going to listen. Atakama, I'm just saying I love someone, you're going to listen.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that in that listening, in that voice, I can tell you things you do not know. The power of performance is I'm trying to paint a picture of what's currently existing, whether it's good, whether it's bad. I'm trying to show you, by the way, you need your attention here, you need your eyes here, you need to take a moment and breathe and feel. So that voice in itself is so powerful for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who likes videos or like being on camera or on a screen, but put me on a speaker, it's fine.
It's over.
100%.
It's interesting how you put it like that, because Kenya definitely needs different narratives, because I feel like it's such a black and white situation right now. Do you feel like there are certain stories that need to be told in Kenya that haven't been told?
There's so many stories that need to be told that haven't been told. I think we tend to move as a mass, especially when it comes to social media and things like that. We pick something and we run with it. Whether it's good or bad, we run with it. And oftentimes, there's so many little things that kind of fall through the cracks. And I try and see what little things we can start looking at. Even if you look at a simple one, Usikimia. Like, you have Njeri doing such amazing work, but also the mental health side of it.
Yeah.
Even dealing with mental health myself as a practitioner. Yeah. There's so much that is not talked about because we put it to the side, or we just what's the word? We blanket statement, or we blanket diagnose. The same way we say, whether you're bipolar or you need it's not always depression. Sometimes genuinely someone just needs a moment to breathe, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the psychoeducation needed in this country for it to move forward. We don't talk about how even on a social level, we're not ready to have certain conversations. And that's why oftentimes there's a lot of groupthink. We move in with what's most popular at the time.
Right, yeah.
We just gravitate to what wanasemaje kwa ground, unaendaje, and then we go with that. Yeah. But there are very few people who are going to be the different thinkers and just be like, okay, no, let's pause. Yeah. What are we missing in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the refusal to fit it into the crowd, to get into these trends of thought, the thought process. How do you navigate that, man? How? Because I know some people, they say, I'm really authentic. I'm I'm just like, okay, fine, that sounds very Iggy, but you know what I mean, yeah. So how do you find your own voice, and have your own context?
I think it's important to always reference. Like, why are we doing this? What's the purpose behind it? My biggest saying is know why you do what you do. If I'm doing something, what's my reason behind it? If I'm going to come here today and talk, what's my reason behind that? If I'm going to post something, why am I doing that? And some people can say, oh, you're overthinking. But the reality is I need to have purpose behind my actions. Otherwise, they're just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So even when we are busy running in the streets of Nairobi, why are we doing it? We want to change. All right, how else can we? Because this is our voice. We're doing something here. Even as a performance, as a performer, as a female performer.
Yeah.
Why am I getting on stage? Like I said, I am very much a homebody. I can stay at home and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But there's a reason I need to get on stage.
Yeah.
There's this talent or this gift of my voice that I know if I get on stage and I start talking, someone's going to listen somewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to have some effect. It's going to reach somewhere. And you can't just sit down and keep quiet in your little corner and think, okay, I'll just be here by myself.
Right.
I'm good. You have to push past that and move into, I need to do something with what I have. So it starts from, yes, this thing is happening, but why does it make me feel like this? Why do I need to do something about this? Why should I jump in? That question is so important. And a lot of people don't have reasons behind what they do.
Do you have a process that you need to undertake before you write? Sort of like a ritual.
No. I'm often known as very much a procrastinator in terms of writing. I am the person who will be writing backstage.
Nah.
100%. I will be.
You go with the flow.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Like sometimes like it'll work where I have enough time backstage to come up with something on the morning of. Sometimes I'm in a really, really good space and I will just flow through a piece. But there's no motivation like a deadline, That one is a great motivator. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
And, there's somebody called Bethel Ogot. He's a historian. He was here from way back. And he's one of the folks who conceptualized the idea of Kenya. Project Kenya, quote unquote. And at some point, he said that Project Kenya was dead. So every time I ask folks like you, deep thinkers, you get the impression that it's almost as if most people usually say there's a new Kenya that's being born, especially due to a new generation, that whole Gen Z, and like they're redefining what Kenya should be like. I'm curious for you, do you feel like the original intention of the people who conceptualized Kenya is still alive? Like their dreams, it's being redefined. What do you think is going on in this country from the perspective of its identity?
I think it's one of those things where we have an idea or a concept, excuse me, but as time moves, as time changes, as people grow, as different generations come up, we realize, no, we can tweak it a little bit better to fit this narrative better. I say this because, as you said, there's millennials, Gen Z, boomers. We're not going to have the exact same struggles. We're not going to have the exact same mindset or view of life. What is important for one generation might not necessarily be important for another. And therefore, these images or these ideas have to switch and change with the people, but staying true at the core.
Right.
So the message is the same. We're all trying to get to a better Kenya. However, how we get there is going to shift and change. The modes of transportation are going to be different. The challenges that exist are going to be different. The people who are bearing those flags and carrying those crosses and moving that message forward are going to be different. We can't expect them to function in the same way that existed before.
Yeah. And it got me thinking about this current Kenya. What do you think it means to be a human in Kenya? Or a Kenyan human right now?
Kupambana.
Resilience.
Resilience. We are in 100% resilience.
Oh my God.
But the reality is that's what it is. It is the willingness to fight for what we want.
Yeah?
Not necessarily what is being handed to us. I feel like this is a generation right now in Kenya where we get something and we're like, you know what? No, we deserve better. We deserve better. And we're going to look for better. We're going to fight for better. We're going to hustle for better. We're going to move for better. And not just, okay, sawa. Ni sawa bas. Let's just... No, I feel like the generation and existing now in Kenya, whether man or woman, it's to want more for yourself. To want out of toxicity and to want better.
The idea of a promised land, aka Canaan. This is something that the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga really talked about, and his followers identified with. And like you said, we're very hopeful, we're very resilient. We look forward to a Kenya that's pretty much where guys can live with dignity. Do you see that sense of hope in you as well?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That is why we will push people, tell people, oh yeah, go get yourself registered to vote. This is what you need to know that's happening in the country. This is what you need to be aware of. These are the policies being passed. We are being so aware now. The amount of just social, what's the word I'm looking for? The amount of on-ground people just educating the masses on what's existing is so beautiful to watch. And it's coming in all formats. It's coming on your TikTok, it's coming on your phone, it's coming in your language, it's coming on radio. We have moved into this area where you can see the finish line is right here. And we are pushing for it.
We can feel it. You can almost touch it.
You can smell it. It's right there.
Yeah.
And we're rushing towards it. Obviously, there's still hurdles. It's not that the end of the race is done. It's not that once we cross that small line, that's the end of all work. In fact, that may even be the beginning of real work. But it's the fact that it's happening. There are changes happening. People are waking up. People are realizing, no, there's more to this. We can't just stop here.
I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I live up to it. I'm quite Stella, occasionally sing a cappella, but mainly I'm a storyteller. I weave words into rhyme schemes, and I'm inviting you into my mind and my dreams, and in time you will find that a star shines brightest in the dark. I don't like the limelight, but I might pop up on a stage on a random night. I stay underground because that's where diamonds are found, and I am a gem of the highest quality, slam royalty. See this queen walk, so elegant. Hear this queen talk, so eloquent. I'm a performer, quite excellent, and I'm coming to you crisp and clear. I am a warm in your ear, and I am here, giving you the gift of me.
Cheers.
Yes, my presence is my present, and I present to you a giant at 5'2" with my knockout punchlines and the looks to boot. Shukran.
Don't play, man. Cheers. Hey, yo, that was crazy.
Shukran.
A giant that's 5'2", it's fine. It's
I'm a 5'2" giant,
we'll
man.
let you run away with that one.
Let things come in small packages.
Okay, sour. But let me ask you something. First of all, that was impeccable.
Thank you very much.
Amazing stuff. So the thing about spoken word, it's deeply, it can be deeply political.
Yes.
At the same time, personal. Right? So how do you create that balance, right? And, especially at a time when maybe women look up to you to share their collective story and experiences through your spoken word.
It's one of those things where you have to be exposed to so much knowledge in terms of writing. You can't just write from just what you feel. What you feel is great. However, you need more. You need facts in there as well. If you're going to write a piece about politics, especially, you need to have information. So you have to expose yourself to that information. So it's a lot of reading, a lot of listening, a lot of interactions with people and conversations. I know I say I'm a last-minute writer, but a lot of the conversations I have had, or the experiences I've had, or even the things that I've read and absorbed will come into my pieces. So it's a lot of being aware, if anything, because even emotionally on stage, it's gonna come up. When you're writing a piece about political violence, when you're writing a piece about the corruption that exists, you will not only feel the emotion, but you will bring emotion out in other people.
Yeah.
I will have people in my audience crying.
No way.
Or laughing, or
It's
just
amazing.
feeling the heartbreak, the pain. And that emotion is something you have to be able to carry, hold space for it, and walk people through that into something else. Because you can't just leave them there. But at the same time, sometimes you want to leave them there a little bit, so they can actually feel that sadness and realize, okay, yeah, things are bad, but there's some hope.
But do you always want them to feel something specific? You live it to them?
Sometimes yes, sometimes the piece stops being mine once it hits you. You get from it what you will get from it. Some people will pick something I didn't even intend, and they'll be like, it reminded me of this, and they'll run with that. And I didn't plan on it. I was writing about heartbreak somewhere, but you're seeing how you need to get yourself better, and it's different. But that's the reality of it. People pick what they need to pick at that point in time. It's the same way if you read a book when you're a teenager and then you read it at 20 something. You're gonna pick something different, even if it's the same book. It just meets you at a different point in life.
Do you ever get to a point where your piece leads you to dark, especially when you're freestyling, when you're getting deep, your emotions are, they're on the line, your heart is on your sleeve? Does your piece ever take you to dark spaces where now you even end up talking about difficult societal conversations or taboos? And how do you deal?
This is a part where being a psychologist is a great thing. So I have all these wonderful coping mechanisms. I do have a wonderful support system. I do talk to people as well. But there are times when you're writing something and you're just like, I'm going to put it down because the emotions it's bringing up are a bit too much. I don't freestyle as much as I wish I could. I don't have that gift. I don't have that talent. I can spit 2 lines and then I'll be like, great. But when it comes to just the feelings that could come up, even as you write, because sometimes you might be asked to write on a very heavy topic. I've been asked to write on FGM before. And just even the research into it was just like, hey, this is heavy. How is this something that you get very angry, and you need to learn, and this is why I was saying, know why you do what you do.
Do you hold yourself back or you just keep it moving?
Depends on the audience, depends on the day, depends on a lot. Sometimes it's like, God made me small, I don't need to be the bigger person. And we move. And some days it's very much, okay, no, I need to hold back here. The people aren't ready. Sometimes I'll tweak a line depending on the audience that's there. There's one piece where it's I say, so tell me, colonizer, and it's like, okay, so some audiences, this is not the best word to use right now because everyone here looks like a colonizer. So is better. Let's just change the line. So sometimes I hold myself back, sometimes no. It just depends on what I'm feeling that day, what that audience needs at that point in time.
It's interesting how with regards to that angle of this conversation, the late Binavanga Wainaina was asked about it, and he said, at some point as a creative, as a writer, you just need to get the hell out of the way of the story and keep it moving.
Yes.
You shouldn't care. Just keep it moving.
I care too much. No, there are people who definitely, I would say, bring out that side of me as an artist, where it's like, no, by the way, say what you need to say on stage and leave it there. And there are other times where you're like, okay, no, actually, my mother is in the audience on this one. Can we just adjust?
Yeah.
The reality is, at times, especially as a performer, you fit not just the story that's being told, but the people you're telling this story to. There's no way I'm going to be called somewhere where everyone is predominantly speaking, Kiswahili. And I come, I'm like, hi guys, so my name is Stella Kivuti, and I'm about to... I need to be able to connect with my audience. That's why I say there's certain artists' shoes I can never fill. There's certain artists who I know would fit better in that and can pass that message better. So sometimes we write and other people will perform. That piece could be beautiful, but you're not the vessel to actually carry that piece. That's the thing.
You mentioned colonialists in the crowd. I'm curious, do you think... when you study our past, do you think colonial Kenya has a role in the way your work has turned out, your creative, your narrative? Yeah, let me put it like that. Yeah.
I mean, the English alone that I speak in itself.
Yeah.
But I think there's a pain or a trauma that exists within this country in more ways that we are ready to tackle. Everything from colonialism itself to neocolonialism that exists now, to just how we handle things, to the tribalism, all of it. There is such a heaviness of trauma, and all of that does influence how we act and how we behave and how we feel and how we think. And because I am very privileged to have gone to schools that forced us to review these histories, we have to start looking at, okay, so this makes me feel a certain type of way. I need to start analyzing that, pulling back a little bit, fully letting go in other situations. There's one course, and this is an amazing one. I don't think they offer it anymore. It was called Hip Hop and the Bible, and really cool class. But even that brought about so much history in terms of the transatlantic slave trade, in terms of what hip hop truly is, and references to Bible as well. But it's a reality of you are not a product of just you.
Yeah.
You are a product of so many things that have come before you. You're a product of all your experiences, and even experiences before you.
You can imagine, yeah.
So all of that is culminating or is coming together to make this person, and you can't then just speak from one lens. You have to speak from all the lenses before that. So when I look at just colonial Kenya and how I perform now, when I first started out in terms of performance, a lot of my pieces were very much from an angry standpoint. And now I would say I am more aware of those feelings and I've processed some of those feelings. But I can still dive into that area of emotion and bring it back out.
You mentioned all these things are from a historical context.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2025, how would you describe the Kenyan modern woman?
Hey. The Kenyan modern woman is a woman who understands that she can be herself for herself. There was a time where, as a woman in Kenya, you 100% needed a man. And this is not to say that men are bad. Please, let's not go down that path.
That's on you.
Tafadhali. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there was a time where even when it comes to owning property, when it comes to having a job, that wasn't something you could do without a man. But now you have women who are able to do that. You can go get a job. If you wanted to do a job, go get a job. You can. Job market right now is hard, but it's possible. You want to own land? You can. You want to travel? You can. The reality is we hold so much power now, but we often forget it because, again, we go back to societal norms and societal pressures. Again, society is great, morals are great, values are great. We just have to learn that they also change with time. We don't function and think in the same way that our grandmothers did. And we can't. They had certain values that are beautiful and that are wonderful, and we can carry those forward, but there are others that have been outdated or have fallen off with time. Even on a cultural level, if you go to the newer generation, we call them Gen Zs. I don't know. That term, but we call them that. But you go to them now, and a lot of them, when it comes to their own culture, understanding rites of passage that exist, understanding why certain things are done culturally, so on and so forth, they might not have that knowledge. But what they do have is a modernized version of what it is to be powerful, good, okay, all right, popular, unpopular, so on and so forth. So we have to meet them at that point. So that the Kenyan modern woman right now is someone who's so powerful, but oftentimes forgets it.
Wow, profound. So, based on what you just said, your description of the modern woman, is that how you basically want your work to make the Kenyan woman see themselves?
Yes. 100%. If my pieces, especially if they're public pieces, because sometimes we're writing for like, if I'm writing for Bata or Wikipedia, you're not going to pick a big, deep meaning from that. But if you're hearing my piece or even another female poet's piece, take from it that you are a very powerful person. Take from it that you hold more power and more ability than you think.
Right.
Take from it that you are not limited other than by yourself
right.
and the boundaries you put for yourself. Yes.
I like that. If you could write a love letter to African women,
Okay.
what would the first line sound like?
A love letter to African women as a whole. That's not the line. Hold on.
Yeah.
Look at me like,
Sure.
already?
I'm like, done. Okay, so.
No. You have a dark past, but your melanin is what we need to start looking past. The reality is, a lot of times, that would be the line, because a lot of times colorism exists, where our skin is not viewed as beautiful. In many times, there's a lot of Eurocentric ideas that exist of what beauty is. And we do have a dark past as a country, as a continent. And we need to start looking past that and looking at the reality that we hold so many resources as Africa. We have so much power as Africa, but because we've been placed in this position where oftentimes we're less than, oftentimes we're not considered full human, we're 2/3 of a human, oftentimes. We need to start looking past just what happened to us and what could actually be. We need to start looking past, oh, you have dark skin, or you're darker, or you're lighter. There was a time even being 0.5 was a nice thing. Like, yeah, me light skin, me
Yo, you said 0.5. I remember, man, totally.
So it's the reality that I want people to look past the melanin, past the dark history, and look at what possible future could actually happen. So that's how I would start my love letter to African women.
Brilliant. In what ways has poetry and spoken word healed you, or at least transformed you?
I think it has made me more confident in certain regards. I say this all the time, I'm very much an introvert. I like to deal with people one at a time, which is why I chose a profession that allows me to do that.
Right.
However, God, in his funny ways, as he jokes, he made me a very loud person who can talk to people. So it has made me more confident in that I'll have to stand on stage and talk to people and perform and just use my voice. It has put me on stages in front of 300 people, 600 people, and there's, hopefully if I get it, there's one where I'll be in front of 1,000+ people.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it has made me more confident, has made me more aware of myself, because again, with stage movement, you are on stage, people are looking at you. I can't just be drawing maps of Africa.
Yeah.
So it has made me more in tune with myself and my body and how I present, to try and give off an image or to try and tell a story. And I've also learned that I can reach into very deep parts of myself when I'm trying to write. And it doesn't have to be the most easy topic. Sometimes it can be a very heavy topic, but I can actually reach those points, write about it, perform it, and still be okay on the other side of it.
Brilliant. Finally, could you drop a piece that reflects that version of yourself?
Hey, pressure today.
Hey.
There's one piece that I used to do a lot. And again, born from procrastination. Lend me your ears and listen carefully, because I'm a black woman living spiritually. I had the audacity to wake up today, put my foot down with the power of God, and make Satan pray. I walked out the house with my head held high and my stern face that kind of looks at you and puts you in your place. Don't try me, because you'll find the right one on the wrong day.
Girl, don't play with us. Roba, tell her not to play with us again. You're so dope.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
For folks who want to share your story or at least host you as well, how can they find you?
Stella Kivuti on all my socials other than Twitter, X. So Stella Kivuti on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. I don't use Facebook that much. Instagram is where you'll most likely get me.
Yeah.
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the number of my manager
exactly now
on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna holler.
You know that thing that happens when people like DM you on Instagram, and because you don't follow them, it goes to requests.
So that's what I did.
Walala! The thing is, I don't see, like, when I clocked that, I was like, hiya, by the way.
Me, I never thought you were going to respond.
I'm so sorry, my guy.
Nah, you're dope. You're easy, man. I like that.
So I'll put the number there so that y'all can reach the manager and you can get to me.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming through once again.